Dear learners, welcome to third session of fourth week. In this session, I am going to discuss role of AI in building Industry 4.0 and also Industry 5.0 solutions. As we know, AI has emerged as a game changer technology in this era of digital transformation. So, learning about AI, how AI can help us, helping our industry, our government, our organization is very important area of study. We have learned in the last lecture that what is the key role of Industry 4.0. Industry 4.0 is playing a very important role of industry transformation, industry augmentation, fueling the growth of the business, expansion of the industry, improving the productivity, efficiency of the manufacturing and other organizations, and it is even surpassing manufacturing. It is pervasive now. I will say it is a pervasive. Industry 4.0 is as equally applicable in other industries like fintech, BFSI, health sector. And we also learned in the last lecture the principles of Industry 5.0, which is emerging slowly, that how we should use digital technologies like AI, IoT, big data in a human centricity manner for sustainability aspect of resilience, improving the resilience. We have seen some of the examples of all these three areas. Then also very important area of Industry 5.0 is the co-creation, partnership across AI, robotics, manufacturing ecosystem. So, this I am referring here some of the studies done by World Economic Forum, and recently World Economic Forum has published a paper under the title Physical AI Powering the New Age of Industrial Operation. Some of the learning in this session are from this paper as well as, but there are some other learnings, but I thought I will refer this, I will mention this in the beginning of this lecture. We have understood in the last lecture the three pillars of Industry 5.0 are human centricity, sustainability and resilient. So, how AI is helping in these areas of human centricity, sustainability and resilience, that is the subject of study, and that is subject of knowledge, I will say, so that you can also, in case you get a opportunity, you can learn from these examples. Earlier we have studied the foundational technologies of Industry 4.0, such as artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, connectivity, cloud computing, connectivity like 5G and all those connectivity options, cloud computing, augmented reality, advanced analytics, additive manufacturing, 3D, robots and computer vision. Now, if somebody asks whether technologies for Industry 5.0 are different from Industry 4.0, I will say no. They are more or less similar technologies and same technologies. So, like generative AI has come, has become very popular in last 3 years. So, it is not a technology of Industry 5.0. There is no separate technology stack for Industry 5.0, but just I have shown over here some of the technologies which are commonly used in 5.0, which is commonly used in 4.0 also. But what is different? Their objective, no. The objective is different. These technologies are being used in, if we say that this is application of 5.0, then how these technologies are being used for human centricity, sustainability and resilience. For example, suppose we are using, we like to use technology, Industry 4.0 application for the agriculture, and we help the farmers to augment their crop, to help them to improve the crop, and to help them to give them some warning of the disaster or some risk in their crop. That is kind of solutions may be considered as a Industry 5.0 solution. But technology will be similar. It may use the drones, it will use the AI, it will use computer vision, but technology will be similar. It's not that Industry 5.0 solution will have the different kind of technologies. So that is what I like to insist at this point of time. This is a very important aspect which we have to understand in case of AI. Most of the technologies which you are seeing here, robotics or blockchain or Internet of Things, 5G, big data and cloud computing, they work at the intersection of artificial intelligence. You will find that whether it is all these technologies which we are going to use in developing our solutions, our product and services, they will be layer of artificial intelligence. So this is a very important aspect. The role of artificial intelligence has become pervasive in most of the solutions. Now let us try to study some of the applications of AI in different industry sector. I thought manufacturing is an important sector. So, but there are millions of applications of AI which one can find out or one can understand. But I thought for just a repetitive purpose, let us study some of the applications of AI robots especially. As you know, we have also studied the RPA and RPA enabled with AI. That is one is a purely software. But when AI is being used on the robots, robots are become start functioning as intelligent robots. As they get some sort of behavior of a human being, intelligent human being. They start serving some of the work of the human being, like on the kiosk, on the receptions. Now in many hotels in Japan, robots start functioning as a receptionist. They help you to check out, they help you to check your booking, etc. And they help you to check in also in the hotel. So this kind of operations or this kind of roles of robots we are seeing largely in the industry. So what about the manufacturing industry? So manufacturing industry, we find that a pervasive use of the robots, AI robots, in quality control inspection, AI robots with computer vision help inspect defects in products and delivery of quality items, detecting defects in real time, which we have also studied briefly when I discussed computer vision software, in the second week of our lecture. So predictive maintenance, this many times this subject has come. So AI is being used. AI robots monitor equipment performance, analyze data to forecast potential faults and breakdown. This is a very common use in the manufacturing. Predictive maintenance, for predictive maintenance, because equipments are the assets. Equipments, if any equipment or any critical equipment goes down, then the production will suffer. So largely, companies are making use of the AI predictive maintenance tools. Material handling, AI robots assist in moving heavy materials, which we are seeing nowadays a very great, especially in the warehouses. We are seeing the high level automation, and that is all enabled with AI. Process optimization also, AI robots analyze data from sensors and devices. This is a very large use of AI in the process optimization, because AI is being used to optimize, and if there any process is on the waste side, it should not be executed. It should not be executed. So the intelligence is being built up in the process chain, process value chain in the industry with the help of AI. So I would like to say that it's a very vital use of in the process industry. In the health sector, in healthcare industry also, a very great use of AI in many areas which we are seeing. This is one sector, I will say, after finance, fintech, which is getting benefited with the development of AI. It has a very great use of AI in most of the areas, like drug making, discovery of the new drugs, and creating the new formations, understanding the impact of that. So genetics kind of new kind of applications are getting built up with the help of AI. So we find that this is worth studying, that how the AI is impacting the healthcare industry as large, and how AI is helping the physicians also for diagnostics and their decision making process. So I have jotted down over here the wider role of AI in the health sector: automate repetitive tasks, freeing up the healthcare providers, efficiently manage healthcare data with AI, optimize healthcare systems, reduce unnecessary hospitalization. Because if you know the prayer hand, that this problem can be sorted out, and AI suggests you some right way instead of rushing to the hospital. So we have seen in many cases, we are seeing that when doctors try to refer or try to use the AI system and find that in this case there is a alternative way to handle the problem instead of hospitalization. So that is also very important. Utilize natural language processing for data analysis, that we are seeing by and large in the AI chats, kind of solutions, monitor medications adherence through AI application. Royal Philips is having a health suite platform. With the help of health suite platform, Royal Philips provide AI enabled home care, that you need not to all the time get admitted in the ICU. They set up the local ICU, and still that all sort of analytics, all sort of monitoring is being done centrally of that patient. So this kind of new developments we are seeing in this healthcare industry. In this slide, I have mentioned a large number of applications in various sectors like healthcare we already discussed, finance, surveillance, agriculture, social media, space exploration, e-commerce, entertainment. These are all worth noting. See the wide applications of AI in most of the sectors. Now we are seeing that, including the government sector. I thought we bring this example of a startup company of our country, agripilot.ai. They have developed very useful solutions for agriculture. The agripilot.ai, this is the name of their portal. Startup, this is a startup company, provide expert advisory and technology solutions focused on enhancing food and livestock system potency through IoT and AI driven smart agriculture. Basically, they provide with the help of IoT sensors which are being deployed in the farm area, and then it's being monitored the quality of the soil, the fertility of the soil time to time, and if there is any supplement or fertilizer is required, any treatment is to be required, it is being already alerted to the farmer, and so that timely treatment can be applied to save the crop or to improve the crop. So agripilot.ai is even the World Economic Forum in their paper has mentioned about the vital use of this startup company agripilot.ai. So these kind of applications are by and large in every sector. AI has created a very meaningful role. So coming back to the use of AI in the Industry 5.0 context, and we know that Industry 5.0 is having three principles or three key areas like sustainability, security, and reliable operation. So I thought let us try to examine that how the AI what is the structure, structure approach of AI, what can be the structure approach of AI in this field of sustainability and human centricity and reliable operations like resilience kind of thing. So here I am referring a very in-depth study which has been done by World Economic Forum, and which is available in this paper, Artificial Intelligence for Efficiency, Sustainability and Industry in the Trade Tech. So basically, in this paper, World Economic Forum has scanned the entire a large gamut of the industry, and they came out some of their findings, how AI is being used, in this industry, by these industries, in field of sustainability and in domain of resilience and many other areas, societal benefits, which we discuss. So these are some of the key roles of AI which I have captured in this slide. Some of the roles are also falling in the area like facilitating and collaboration, and some of the roles are freeing the AI is freeing up for mankind or workers from the value task, for the value task. The mundane task is being done nowadays by the robots. And physical tasks are being done by the robots. And so the manpower can be freed for other valuable tasks. AI is also helping in the real-time decision making. But some of the applications we will see now, in the industry, how they are using. Like, one of the important area is the emission control. So Tata Steel here is Tata Steel and JSW Steel is using supplier engagement dashboard and export readiness program using AI-assisted MRV to estimate upstream emission and logistic footprints. Similarly, ITC, agriculture and foods, farm to factory traceability platform being baseline for categories like agriculture, input and packaging. So there are many companies, many Indian houses today are using AI for emission control or minimizing the emission, getting the alerts in time in case emission is going to increase. So that is one of the major use of AI which industry has found that. Another role of the AI which we are seeing is that in circular economy, that is the circular economy of like this I already explained that design, use, remanufacture, that is the recycling, and then you again flow back to the market. So there are many examples. Some of the examples like Tata Motors and Maruti are using for vehicle scrap. They have a system for scrapping the old vehicles, and they recycle the entire scrap and try to use that for the next manufacturing cycle. That is what industries, some of the industries are aiming. Similarly, there is another example of this Loham. You know this is one of the largest manufacturer of the EV batteries in our country. They do the battery analytics for second life of the battery and recycle of ion cells from EVs and energy storage. So they use AI technologies to first of all know whether this battery is still is reusable or not, and then they recycle that and create from the waste they create new material for the next cycle of the production. Predictive maintenance already I have discussed. Supply chain visibility, very important area of AI creating resilience. So one of the good example is the DHL, which I already discussed in the previous lecture. Like Hindustan Lever here is having system called JARVIS, demand sensing retailer, and Shikara. We know about this system Shikara. Basically, these systems work hand to hand to ensure that supplies to their retail outlets or their retailers whom they supply their products. So with the help of technology, company like Hindustan Unilever is also using for the supply chain assurance. Indian Railways is using AI to know the monsoon disruption. They have developed the monsoon disruption dashboard which trigger the rescheduling and diversion of rakes on valuable sections. So once they know with the help of AI system that how what is the gamut of disruption particular track with the help of AI dashboard or AI system plan the rerouting of the rakes, which is supposed to supply, which rakes to, which carry the important raw material or finished goods of the industry. Adani Ports is also using AI for AI kind of systems for prediction to resequence vehicles and evacuation cargo ahead of cyclone on the west and east coast. So, and like Marico and Dower seasons risk playbook, which inform production shift and distribution plan. That is AI is being used by these companies in case they expect any disruption in the supply. They expect for various factors which are being examined by the AI system. Then what is the corrective action? What is the new path to avoid the disruption? Whether they should bring down the production or whether they should reroute their supplies. So like that, there are multiple use of AI we are finding to ensure the supply chain, to first tackle that supply, predict the supply chain disruption, and then also guide the companies for the rerouting that of their supplies. Contingency planning also is one of the important area of AI and help to maintain the resilience in the companies. So human centricity is, as I said, is a very big area where companies, companies, whether they are companies or they are hotels or they are hospitals, they are largely finding, the application of AI. Cobots, as we have already discussed, many times in our course, they are one of the important, intelligent gadgets, intelligent AI-enabled robots, I will say, which are helping the industry at large. Tata Motors and Maruti Suzuki collaborative robots in body and final assembly AI work. So in automobile industry, we are finding use of cobots in a very good manner. They are helping their assembly line. They help the workers to assemble fast with precision. If any defect is there, cobots are able to diagnose the and preempt that defect and give the alerts so that the defect can be rectified in time. Tata Steel is also a pioneer using robots. Tata Steel, Kalingar and Jamshedpur plant, they use remote assist AR for field technicians, vision for surface. So you will find that AI is being used largely many organizations in field of in area of their manufacturing assembling line, and also some of the remote areas where it is difficult to operate. Like there are many companies which has the mines, which are the mines, coal mines or some other material mines. They start using robots instead of sending the humans which is a health hazardous sometime. So now robots are doing work which earlier human manpower used to do in the mines. So that is also is helping mankind. Is one of the good application, I will say, of AI for human centricity, and it saves the lives, many lives also, because these are the work which are life hazardous. I like to now give an example, very prominent example of how the technology is creating a human centricity impact, and how the technology is also providing resilience. These are the two homegrown technologies, Unified Payment Interface, UPI we know, and ONDC, which is a marketplace which Government of India has developed, and now it is being used by thousands of companies to market their products on this platform, the way other marketplaces are available like in Amazon, but this is a little different from platform like Amazon. One of the outcome of both of these platforms are, that's why I have kept in the Industry 5.0 bucket them, is to help the citizens in such a way that their life has improved. And similarly, in case of ONDC, it is helping the small market players, because ONDC is a platform governed by the Government of India. They charge very nominal fees for using of their platform. So that is where these kind of technologies, when we deploy it, we can consider them as a part of Industry 5.0 technologies. So I have given in this slide how UPI or how ONDC is helping the in area of human centricity and resilience. So with this, I will like to end this explanation. In this presentation of last 30 minutes, we try to learn the wide use of AI, and especially promoting the Industry 5.0 principles, and it is becoming one of the very demanding application in the market. So that's why the student should try to learn in this area as much as possible, and I will be continuing in this kind of sharing of this kind of insights about AI in subsequent session as well as. Thank you very much.